Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. This video is the video in which I address the things I say on Twitter that people misinterpret and don't understand. I have a couple of tweets in rotation that get tweeted out like once every couple of weeks or so, and I always get these responses from it, and I just it's 140 characters, so there's no explanation. But if you're wondering about those tweets, I'm going to explain them here real quick here. So there's two of them that I'm going to talk about. So one of them is I believe it goes like this: if you want to get started on a side project, try waking up an hour earlier each day. People get all bent out of shape with this one, telling me, John, don't tell people not to sleep, like sleeping is important. Totally agree. I'm not asking you to sacrifice an hour of sleep. Although some people could do that, but what I'm saying is to wake up an hour earlier each day. That means that you should probably go to bed an hour earlier at night. And there's a reason why I'm saying making this trade. Why would you trade an hour at night for an hour in the morning? That doesn't make sense, John. That's still an hour. Yes, but when I was growing up, I just did like some kind of weird... When I was growing up, my dad used to say, pay yourself first. I don't know if your dads used to say this, but I remember getting my first paycheck. My dad was like, hey, take 10% of what you make and you pay yourself first. That goes into savings. That's called paying yourself. Before you pay anyone else, you pay yourself first, right? Good advice. That makes sense. I pretty much follow that. But you should do the same thing with your time, right? Give yourself the first hour of your productive work per day, right? I've worked for someone else. No shame in that. But I'll tell you what happens. You work for 8 hours during the day for someone else. You come home, you think you're going to work on your side project or go to the gym or do something for you, and you're tired. You've been working all day. It makes sense, right? You got other obligations. You don't feel like energized and that you're going to give it your best. So you might even if you do end up working the extra hour for yourself or whatever it ends up being not your best. So save your best for yourself. That's all I'm saying with that quote. Like, please stop blowing this out of proportion. I'm not saying deprive you of your sleep. Anyone can do this, right? Just make sure that's why I say wake up an hour earlier, so you can give yourself an hour for yourself first, and then you can go and work. Because think about it this way, right? It's going to be much easier, even if this could be going to the gym or it could be like creating a side project or working on improving your skills or whatever it is. You're devoting that hour to yourself first. You're energized. It's the best part of your day. You're not worn out at all. And then you can make it through 8 hours working for someone else after that. It's a better way to do things. I think we could probably all agree on this. So stop giving me shit about this. No, I'm just kidding. Like, I understand that it's, when you read that. Anyway, so that's the first one. Then the other one, this one was just today. Like, okay, so I understand. I mean, like I said, it's Twitter. But anyway, I have this one where I say essentially that, I don't remember the exact quote, but it's essentially this. It's better to run a few miles every day than to run a marathon once. And then I always get these replies like, well, you gotta run a bunch of miles to run a marathon. Yeah, I know you can, well, no, technically, I mean, there's some people that could just they've never run a marathon before and they don't run, they could force themselves to make it the whole marathon length. It wouldn't be pleasant, it wouldn't be easy, but they could do this heroic effort. In fact, that's really what I'm talking about. It's like, it basically comes down to this. I'm not talking about running at all. I'm talking about this idea that when you do this heroic effort once, right, it doesn't necessarily give you it gives you a benefit, right? If you run one marathon, let's say calorie-wise, what are you going to burn? I guess that's about, for most people, 2,500 calories, right? Extra. That's not even a pound of fat. Maybe you could run a marathon and burn 1 pound of fat. But if you run 3 miles every morning, much shorter thing, right? Over a year, you're going to accomplish a lot more. How many miles will you run? How much more in shape are you going to get? What benefits? You're going to get a lot more benefits. You're going to lose weight. Doing one heroic effort, unfortunately, like a lot of people, they kill themselves trying to do one heroic effort, right? And they expect like amazing results from this. And that's not how success comes. Success comes over duration, right? Repeating the same thing. I always say, trust the process, trust the process. What that means is that you do something repeatedly over time and that you get a cumulative effect, and that is how you hit success. I didn't create Simple Programmer and have my blog have over 1 million visitors a year by creating one awesome 20-page blog post that was just so awesome that it just, blew everything out of the park. I could have done that and I probably would have gotten a bunch of visitors, but it wouldn't have been a million a year, right? Instead, what I did was every week, several times a week, I created a blog post for several years, and that cumulative effect resulted in success. So that's all I'm saying with that quote. I'm not even really talking about running, although I mean the same would apply. It could be for health, for benefits. If you're trying to get in shape, running one marathon is not as good as running 3 miles every single day. That's going to be better. It could be in your career, in your life, all kinds of things. If you are moving the ball forward a little bit each day, you get the ball pushed a lot further than trying to do one heroic effort to push it up the hill all at one time. You're going to run out of energy. It's probably going to roll back down the hill. It's the way that a lot of people think, and what they don't realize is that, plus it's so much easier, right? It's so much easier to just make a little bit of progress every single day. Here's one more quick example. Writing, right? How many of you want to write a book, right? Okay, so most people, when they sit down to write a book, they're like, I'm going to write my novel or whatever it is. Right, there you go, and they pound out maybe 10,000 words in a day, if even, right? I'm assuming, but let's say you did, right? That is not, you're not done, and you're wiped out, and that's not productive. But if you just committed to writing 1,000 words a day, that's not even a very hard goal, right? Maybe like an hour to 2 hours worth of writing per day. In 100 days, you'd have 100,000 words. That is a novel, my friend. In 100 days, in 3 months, you'd have. In fact, I am not just the Hair Club user. I am the president. I wrote my soft skills book using that technique. I wrote 1 chapter a day, which was about, I think it was like 1,500 or 2,000 words. It's a big book, right? It's like 504 pages. It's I think over 150,000 words. Anyway, I wrote about 1,500, 2,000 words a day, and I did it every single day. And in 3 months, I wrote a 504-page book with over 150,000 words in it. Okay, so it works. That's if I sat down at one time trying to do a heroic effort of writing the whole book in like a day or two, that would have failed. So anyway, that's all I'm saying with those tweets. There's probably a lot of other confusing tweets that maybe I'll do a series of stupid stuff I say on Twitter that gets misinterpreted. And if you like this video, subscribe to the channel. I will talk to you next time. Take care. Oh, if you have a stupid tweet that I said that you misunderstood, comment below and let me know, and then I'll do a video to explain it. All right, take care.